About 1500 years ago, Uther Pendragon was the king of Britain. The king had many enemies, and so his life was in constant danger. One night, the greatest magician of Britain, named as Merlin, came to the king. As Merlin could foresee the future, he probably knew that the king's enemies would kill his son at the first opportunity. Hearing this, the king decided to give away his son to Merlin. Merlin took the baby to Sir Ector and made him promise to bring him up as his own son. Later, the baby was named as Arthur, and he grew up in Sir Ector's house as his own son. Arthur, along with his elder brother Kay, who was the real son of Sir Ector, were trained to be a knight. A few years later, when Uther Pendragon died, lords and barons fought for the crown, and there was strife all over the country. On Merlin's advice, the Archbishop of Canterbury commanded all the lords to come to London to learn the will of heaven about who should be the next king. So the nobles gathered in London on Christmas Eve. When the nobles were praying in the church, a huge square stone with a sword stuck in it appeared mysteriously. The words on the stone said that the person able to draw the sword from the stone would be the true-born king of Britain. All the lords tried their best to pull out the sword with all their might, but no one could do it. Then the Archbishop announced that a great tournament would be held in London, so that all the knights could come there and a true king could be found. When Sir Ector heard of the tournament, he set out for London with his two sons. Sir Kay was already a knight, and so he hoped to take part in the tournament. But Arthur went just to watch the tournament, as he was young to take part in it. As they rode towards the ground where the tournament was to be held, Sir Kay discovered that he had no sword. He immediately asked Arthur to ride back at once and bring his sword from the inn where they had stayed last night. But when Arthur came to the inn, he found it locked. He remembered that he had seen a sword stuck in a stone in the churchyard. So he went to the churchyard to get that sword. He pulled the sword out and gave it to Sir Kay. As soon as Sir Kay saw it, he knew it was the sword of the stone. He went speedily to his father and told a lie that the sword was taken out by him, and so he should be the king of Britain. Sir Ector could not believe the said words to be true, and rode fast to the churchyard with his two sons. He then swore Sir Kay to tell the truth, and finally Kay confessed that it was his brother Arthur who had brought it to him. Sir Ector asked Arthur to do it again. Then Sir Ector himself and Kay tried it. But what he observed is that neither he nor Sir Kay were able to pull out the sword from the stone, but Arthur was able to do it very easily. Sir Ector read the words on the stone and understood that Arthur was the rightful king. He announced this to Arthur and kneeled before him. Arthur had no clue that he was Sir Ector's foster son. Arthur was shocked to hear the truth that how a stranger delivered him into Sir Ector's hands to be brought up as his own child, and had then disappeared. Arthur wept, as it seemed to him that he had lost his father, and his brother in just one day. Sir Ector consoled him and took him to the archbishop. When the archbishop saw the sword in Arthur's hand, he knew him to be the true king. He called all the nobles to the church to see for themselves how the will of heaven had been fulfilled and the true king of Britain had been found at last.